BC Narrative on location. Today I have with me Abu, an amazing human being that is making a lot of difference in this city. Stop one more time. Boom, 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 boom. Stop one more time. Scap man. You remember that? We should do that. Scap man. I was like, what is that? And his clothes was all weird. Who's this guy? Are we good?
Okay, we're good to go now.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
Ready. Well, hello there. Welcome to Northern BC Narrative on location. Today I have with me an amazing gentleman by the name of Abu, and he has made a lot of difference in the city, and he has some interesting projects that he was talking about today. And he's going to share it with everybody. Abu, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be with you today as well. It's a pleasure.
So talk about yourself a little bit and what you do.
Like you say, thank you for having me on your
It's
show.
always a pleasure.
Yeah. My name is Abu Bakar, but I go by Abu.
Yeah.
It tends to be easier, especially for English people.
Yeah.
They can pronounce the full Abu Bakar.
It's easy, Abu Bakar. It's
Abu,
so
exactly.
Easy.
It's easy, right?
It's easy, right?
Yeah, but for a lot of people, when I first came here, it
Yeah.
was not easy for them to say the whole thing.
Their tongue gets stuck probably.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I just made it easier for them, and I go by Abu.
Yeah.
And I'm from Mali, which is a West African country.
Yeah.
But I grew up in Montreal. and
Montreal?
yeah.
Oh man, I love Montreal.
Yeah.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien, et toi?
Oh, très bien.
Très bien, tu
We
vois?
have to change English.
Maybe we can speak in French now.
No, we have to write subtitles, right?
Oh, right. That's right.
Nobody will do it.
No. But yeah, and I've been in Prince George for about 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah. Went to university here,
Yeah.
played on the varsity soccer team.
Right.
And now I work for the welcoming Francophone community.
So Abu, you were in Montreal.
Yeah.
Why did you come to here for? How? Like, what is the reason? I'm very interested in that because I've been in Montreal for a couple of years.
Right. It's a good question. A lot of my friends ask me the same question. Why do you leave such a big town for a smaller town?
Yeah.
It was initially to come visit my cousin, and his family. His dad used to live in Montreal, and when he got a job in Prince George, he moved here.
Yeah.
So one summer, I just came to visit, and then I kind of like the small community, the small community vibe, the sport, the ambience, the ambience that they had here. I know it's very ironic. People say small city, they don't really have that much ambience, but it was something that I really appreciated in terms of the people I met. Very, very good to me for my first couple months. And by that time, I did not speak any English. I knew the basics. Hello, my name is. How are you? Just the basics. So learning English was always one of my goals, in the future. So I saw the opportunity, and then I decided, why not? So I just decided to stay here, and here I am 10 years later.
That is amazing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Montreal.
Yeah.
But I only speak French when I was there.
Yeah.
And always I was like, I don't want to learn English. I'm serious. I was like, no, I don't want to learn because it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And then my father came to Vancouver. He says, we're going to Vancouver. I was like, oh my God. That's how I learned.
Yeah,
that's they shove you in ESL classes. So you pick up accent from all the cultures.
Right.
So I was like.
Yeah.
So talk about your childhood a little bit. How were you raised and things like that? And you love soccer, right?
I do.
So let's talk about that. How it started for you to fall in love with soccer, and what are some of the things you've done in that?
It's a great question. First of all, I'm from Mali, West Africa.
Yeah.
If you just say any West African country, especially for the kids, soccer is the priority.
Is the heartbeat.
It's just you're born. Once you start walking, you already have a soccer ball, in your feet.
Yeah.
Every parent want their kid to be a soccer player, and then it's just one of the big changes for me, especially when I came to Canada, was the difference in culture in terms of childhood differences. For me, growing up in Mali, doing some of my childhood in Mali was everything was based on soccer. There's hundreds of sports, but soccer is the main one in where I grew up. So every kid, adults, every kid, every single day, we play soccer every single day, and then having friends, teams, even the neighborhood having teams of its own. We play against other neighborhoods. It's been something that have always inspired me. You grew up in that environment where you watch soccer every day, your family watch soccer every day,
Yeah.
you play soccer every day, you train every day, and you go to school obviously, but all you want to become when you grow up, you want to become a soccer player. And I can guarantee you, if you ask 90% of the youth in Mali right now, they'll tell you that they all want to be soccer players, when they grow up, because that's all they know. That's the main sports that's mainly watched there, played there, and known there. So it was a big part of my youth, me growing up. I guess until I came in Canada and things started to change and the focus of that goal started to shape a little bit.
Talk about your soccer playing childhood and then now you're pro, right? So let's talk about all of that stuff, how it happened. Because you know what, if everybody wants to play soccer in that country, that means, the best of the best are,
Right.
come up, right? So
Right.
talk about that and then how was it, playing soccer, talk about some of your tournaments in your country.
I remember winning my first tournament actually. I was 7.
Seven.
It was just
Seven.
a kids. It was very small. I actually have pictures. I'll see if I can if I can find a picture. I'll send them to you. It was not really kids. We play tournaments and all that. And back then I was a defense player. I used to play defense.
Yeah.
And I still remember. I have few memories from that time, but not a big picture. But it was a moment where. The love of soccer was really there for me, not just for me, but for my family. We had I guess it's safe to say that I could see a future in soccer for me since that age. So I do remember winning that first title, and then it was just community, and then the parents are happy. You take pictures and all that. You go home, you have the medals, which was made out of plastic. But back that
plastic.
it was plastic.
I
It wasn't even metal. So it was plastic. But it was a great feeling, just knowing that you've achieved something, and parents being happy for you, because you're happy. That was really my first achievement that I can remember. And from there on, growing up, I went to clubs, soccer association, because we have a lot of clubs, especially in my community. We have everybody, everybody want to become soccer players. So there is a lot of clubs, that feels, knows those feelings of people wanting to really pursue that career. Therefore, they create those clubs just to train people, But one of the things that was an issue for me growing up was the fact that, like I said, everybody want to become soccer players. So
you're a competition.
exactly, it's all about how bad do you want it. How bad do you want to get there? And I do want it really bad growing up, but I guess the motivation that I had growing up, I did not have that back then when I was smaller, because my parents had other options for me, which was education. They did love the fact that I played soccer, but at the same time, their main focus was for school first. Soccer can come after, but school, which kind of brought my spirit a little bit down, because even sometimes when I had soccer and school, obviously I want to go to soccer as a kid because that's where I have the most fun. But their priority was, oh no, you have to go to school. Which was the reason actually, one of the reasons I came here, the fact that because school was the main idea behind their goals, for me. So I came here for a better education system. But I was a little disappointed because I really loved playing, especially, playing in that environment of Mali. It was just the ambience. Like I said, the ambience was just different, Like they say, the African culture and the Canadian culture, the Malian culture, should I say, and the Canadian culture is very different.
Talk about the differences a little bit.
First of all, just the community, itself.
Everybody's like that.
Everybody's just you know your neighbor. You go eating at your neighbor's house. You just know everybody, that almost everybody in your community. So which brings you that sense of belonging. Within your community. As for a Canadian culture, it does happen, but it's very rare to see people really going to people's house. It doesn't really happen. It does happen, but not as much as it is in Mali. We have that community sense of belongings where everybody knows everybody. You can go to your neighbor's house. You can go eat your neighbor's house. It's normal things. I remember growing up, I can go to my friend's house, eat there, eat lunch, breakfast, dinner. Like it's just a normal thing, Family's okay with it because we trust each other, we know each other, we love each other, So just there alone was a big change for me, growing up from in that type of community, coming to this community where everybody's inside, especially in Montreal, for me, it took me quite a bit of time for me to kind of get used to that lifestyle, I wouldn't say that I was depressed, but it got to a point where you just don't feel happy anymore.
Yeah.
because you just it looks like you lost that big part of your lifestyle, you know, and now you have to adapt to a whole new system, you know. So that was a big change for me. But by the time I got used to it, and when I started going to school, meeting new friends, going out more kind of made it easier for me. And then I got the joy of playing soccer again, which brought me here in Prince George, actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So it's funny when you talk about the culture thing, in like in Middle East, you know, in those cultures, all in that area, people are very united together, right? So if something happens, people have your back usually. Right?
Exactly.
And food is a huge thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge,
right?
very huge.
And it's the same thing in the indigenous culture here, right?
Yeah.
So in here, like I don't know if you have any indigenous friends or if you, they're just like that.
I do a lot of them actually.
Always share their food.
They do.
Right?
Yeah.
I think one of the most weirdest thing for me was when I came to Canada. Nobody was sharing food. People would eat in front of you. Right?
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? Right? Then I realized, oh, it's like that,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then, because I remember, when we were kids, right? Like if you have a big bucket, if you have food,
Yeah.
before you put it in your mouth, you
You
hey,
got
are you
people,
hungry?
yeah.
Are you hungry?
Everybody's asking for some.
Everybody puts it on
Yeah.
the table and everybody shares everyone's stuff. You have
Yeah.
a potluck every day almost,
yeah.
right?
It's a normal thing up there.
Yeah, and it's really good because food brings people together. Right?
It does.
So, and then the isolation sometimes, right? Because it's very isolated.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody is kind of on their own here.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that causes a lot of problems.
It does.
Right.
It
Because
does.
we are supposed to be like a pack,
Yeah.
all of us, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be living together, taking care of each other, and then in some of the cultures here, there's this giant separation.
Right.
And then that disconnects you from your humanity. And when you come from different countries and you see that, you're because you had that every day, you
Yeah,
know, the
yeah.
eating and all that. Now you
Yeah.
don't have it. You're like, what am I supposed to do?
I know.
You gotta-
It's a big change, you know, it's a big thing, and getting used to it kind of takes you times, you know, depending on the environment you live in. For me, when I came to Prince George was a different case for me because first of all, I only spoke French by then, and then I was lucky enough to find some francophones, you know, around me, which really helped me integrate the community, you know, go out more, be myself more, and just find that joy more. You know, so which was different from Montreal. Yes, there's a lot of people that speak French in Montreal, but it was my first time in a new country, you know, so it took more time for me when I was in Montreal to kind of be myself, get out there, than it took me when I came to Prince George.
What are some of the things that shocked you when you moved to Montreal?
I guess how busy everybody looked. You know,
nobody's busy.
Everybody, you go the highway, the traffics, everything looked busy. Everybody looked busy. It looked like everybody had somewhere to be, you know, which was very interesting because in Mali, for me, people have stuff to do, but people just usually take their, people are very relaxed, less stressful. But my first impression of Montreal was everybody looked stressed. Everybody looked like they have to be somewhere, you know, and that was, I guess, a reality check for me. Oh, that's the, you know, okay, welcome to the new world. You know, it was huge. So that's actually one of the big change I've really noticed in Montreal. And obviously the city is big, way a lot of stuff to do, different stuff, you know, but way more stuff to do, and just big in general, you know, big and busy, big and very busy.
Does it snow in Mali?
Oh no!
Oh, okay, let's talk about. I've seen some videos online. You know, people from countries like that, even Middle East, and they're like, "That's it, I'm leaving." They're in the snow, fall. They'll talk about that a little. So what happened when the cold, all that stuff, right? So talk about how warm is your country first, right?
Mali,
let's go.
right?
Let's go.
Mali is very warm, 30 plus, you know, almost throughout the whole year. But I remember recently I had a couple family members complaining that it's very cold. And I asked them, you know, what's the weather? What's the temperature? They goes, it's 15, 16 degrees. I'm like, and they're complaining that's very cold. I'm like, oh my God, 15, 16. If that happens, sure, people will be, walking out, in light clothing, you know. So the weather difference was a big adjustment for me. Because coming from a 30 plus weather to, because I came in Canada, it was during November. So it was in Montreal. You can imagine how cold the weather could be by then, you know, a lot of snow.
Did you came with jackets and things like that? Or not?
I did. I was prepared because I was told how cold it was, but I did not expect it to be that cold. You know, I remember my first winter. Yeah, when I first came, there was no snow, but it was very cold. And I believe it was 2 weeks after I was in Montreal that it snowed for the first time, and it was very cold. But I don't know what it was. I was outside just whirling. I wasn't even wearing a jacket. You know, just seeing the snow for the first time.
Yeah, you were so
was just a
excited.
great- I was very excited. I was very excited. You know, I even ate it.
Ain't the snow.
You know, just a beautiful experience. You're like, oh my God, snow for the first time. You know, this is what snow looks like in real life. You know, so that was a great experience for me. You know, seeing
When you
the snow
first
for the
touched it,
first time.
what happened? When you were first,
It was very, and I was not even wearing a glove, so I guess the adrenaline was there,
Yeah,
and
you're
I was excited, and then just I had the snow. My hand was not freezing. Everything was fine. I was out there for quite few. You know, I was there for at least 30 to 45 minutes
without
playing in the snow. Nothing. No, I had a warm shirt, but it was not a jacket, and I was wearing no gloves. But just the excitement was there, and then I just. My brain couldn't process how cold it was just because of the excitement that I had at that time. So it was very exciting. And don't get me wrong, I came from the 30 plus weather to this, and then my first time seeing snow, I was not feeling the cold at all. Until after that, you know, the snow, my body, you know, started settling into the reality. That's when I realized, oh man, this is not fun at all. This is not what I expected to be. And that's what I tell my family members all the time. You know, I tell them, yeah, I mean, when you see it on the screen, on the big TV, you think it's fun and that, it's cold. But when you come to experience it in person, that's where you see the difference, the reality. And it could be fun for the first couple moments, but after, you know, it just gets annoying.
when you first saw snow and when you touched it, what was going through your mind? Like, were you like, oh wow, that's so amazing? It's like cotton or something like that, right? Or
The first thing that came to mind was to taste it.
you taste it.
I tasted it.
Like
I just got ready and tasted it. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
realized, it's just ice. That's the first thing that came to mind, tasting it, and then which was nice, you know, because you see it, you hear it, and then I'm finally touching it, you know. Then I ate it, and then it was actually it was a big bite. Actually, it was just not a small taste. It was a big bite, you know. Taste. I was like, oh wow, this is ice. You know, it was a beautiful experience. You know, I won't lie, it was something I really loved it, and I took a lot of pictures. You know, because I was there with my cousin who was taking pictures. So a lot of pictures, good memories that I sent back to my family, and yeah, they're happy for me. You know, but I guess that was and until quite sometimes. It was a good experience, you know, just looking at the snow, seeing the snow, until I started not getting used to that, until the cold started getting the better, and then I just started hibernating for the whole time.
For winter time.
For the winter
You're
time.
hiding at home now.
Yeah, hiding at home.
But do you like snow still or?
Yeah. I mean, depends, you know. I started snowboarding.
Yeah. You started snowboarding?
I did.
No way.
3 years ago.
How was the first experience?
Oh my! I actually have some funny clips that I might show you. I might show you after.
Yeah.
I have some funny clips of me just falling down. You know, people just clearing the path when I'm coming down.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful experience. My first trip. But then after that, I got used to the obviously
Balancing and
the
all
balance
that.
and all that. I remember my first time they were telling me to do the pizza. You know, for me, if I wanted to stop, I have to do the pizza. You know, you have to kind of shape your leg. Pizza style for you to stop, and I was doing that, but it was not working.
But that's for ski. That's not for. You're talking about.
Oh, sorry, I meant skiing. Oh my God, I said snowboarding.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you? It doesn't work.
No,
matter what
I
you do,
mean
it's coming.
skiing. Yeah. No, I
So
mean
you mean
skiing.
this thing, right?
Yeah, they were doing the pizza, but I was doing
Sometimes
that.
it
I was
doesn't
not
work.
exactly. I
Sometimes
was
you
not
just keep
stopping.
going down, and then something. Have you ever had your legs crossed? Like
Oh,
that's
multiple
the
times. You know,
doing.
I was just dancing. You know, they told me do the pizza as I'm going down. I'm doing it, but it's not working. But yeah, I'm starting to like it. You know, just for that reason. And
Do you go on really high heels, or do you go on like little?
so far, I haven't really gone to those big hill. I've gone to decently big hills, but not really those huge ones. No, not yet.
It gets fun, right?
It gets fun, yeah. It gets fun. Maybe down, you know, maybe in the future I might do those ones, but as of now, I haven't really.
So you're not gonna go to Mount Everest or anything like that.
Oh my, that's huge. That's a big commitment. We'll see.
right?
Who knows?
Lots of people they don't come back, right?
Yeah. I watched a documentary about that, and
Pretty
it's
scary,
quite
right?
quite scary.
Like sometimes you see, you know.
Yeah, and that is not in my bucket list yet. Maybe
That is on your bucket
no,
list.
No,
man.
yet. No.
Let's say if it's your bucket list, we are gonna give you all the cameras you need. We go up there,
We go out there.
and then then bring it back.
Sounds good. I'll think about that. We'll see. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Going from the cold into skiing and stuff like that.
I know.
So how do you talk about your soccer a little bit? So did you get any scholarship because of soccer?
Yes.
Talk about that. So how did that career expanded for you from your country?
So when I came to Montreal, especially when I had that opportunity to come down in Prince George when I stayed. So I went to high school here, Duchess Park,
Yeah.
because they were the only, I
How
believe,
old were you when you came here?
in Prince George.
Yeah.
I was 14.
You were 14 when you
Yeah.
came in here.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
now, okay. So you went to high school here.
Yeah, I went to high school in Prince
Oh,
George.
I thought maybe you came way later. Because,
Oh,
because,
no.
because you're so like
Yeah.
well developed and
Yeah.
intelligent. I was thinking about this guy.
I can, yeah.
Oh,
I can. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
came here when I was 14, and then
That's
back
crazy.
then, I had to go to a high school, and then Duchess Park was the only high school here that had a francophone program,
Yeah.
which kind of allowed me to learn English
Yeah.
and also pursue that French.
Yeah.
For me to not forget that French.
That French is important. I'm
Exactly,
forgetting.
and which they really helped me. They really helped me throughout that moment. That was, it was a little complicated and tough, at the beginning because I had some classes that were in English. So for me, I had no idea what the teacher was saying at some point.
The English, right?
In the English,
It's
yeah.
insane.
Just I had nothing. So
You got the DRI like this.
yeah, and just I was listening, but it was fascinating, the fact that because I was trying to learn English, and at the same time having to understand what the prof is saying and having to understand the topic that's been taught in class. I remember every single time we had a paper to be written, I would go to Google Translate. I would write it in French.
Google Translate. Look at you. So,
I remember one time my teacher told me that that's not, because it's not accurate. For me, I did not know that it wasn't 100% accurate. So I would type my writings in French
And
and,
then-
having Google translate it in English. Then I would take it exactly how Google gives me to submit it. And then I remember after this was in grade 10, one of my teacher came up to me and goes, no, because there was a lot of mistakes, a lot of spelling, grammar spelling, and which I had no idea back then, And then that's when the prof referred me to another website, which was more accurate than Google Translate. And throughout that, I was also doing a formation with Rosetta Stone, which is a language program, Rosetta Stone, which helped me a lot because I remember sometimes 2 hours a day, I would be sitting with my headset, just listening to spellings, repeating after the computer. I have to make sure I say the spelling right, correctly, which was very interesting. At first, I was very interesting. It was demanding, but at a few months into it, I realized how helpful it's been for me. So, and throughout that, I remember it was, and I also played when I was in high school. I also played soccer for the soccer team of Duchess Park, which we actually came fifth in the province.
Fifth in the province.
In the province, yeah, which was the highest level reached by any school in Prince George.
Oh wow!
So that was pretty cool, with wonderful teammate and with the wonderful coach we had as well by that time, which kind of helped me kind of get that scholarship to the university.
So the soccer will give you a scholarship to the university.
Yeah.
Right? So all your teammates, were they French when you first started or no?
Oh no, actually for city.
Yeah, no, for high school.
No, but I did have some people that spoke French.
French.
But they're not French. Maybe French immersion. They understand French.
Okay,
I can speak French with them.
Because soccer is all about eye contact.
Exactly.
And football. So you
Exactly.
really have to speak
Right.
language,
Exactly. So I
right?
didn't really have to know English. It's, hey, hello, pass. Here, go.
Goalie.
So just was I only had to know the basics. Yes, they say soccer is very universal. When you know
universal.
how to play, you know the rules. It's just easier for you to kind of translate, those talent within the pitch. So it was very, and I did have some people that spoke a little bit of French, so which helped me communicate a lot better with them and with my other teammates.
So you got a scholarship into the university. How was it to go and play soccer for university? But was it probably a different level, right?
Very different, very different. First of all, when I was in grade 10, the coach offered me to come and play, to kind of try out, play after I got accepted. I used to go there a few times a week to go train with the team. And I remember it was a very stressful moment for me because right now, yes, you might be the best player of your team before university, but when you get to university, there's
Everybody's the best.
everybody's the best.
It's top
Everybody's
line.
the best of their teams.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay. So now this is a challenge. Now this is when the real challenge begins. So I remember a few times I used to go train with the varsity teams, and it was very intimidating. In terms of just looking at people you're playing with, they all have talent. They're all older than you, better than you, faster than you. So now that's a lot of pressure, and then you have to adapt to that. For you, first of all, for you to be able to play, to have a spot in it, you have to want it more. So that was a big challenge for me, and it was a moment I remember a few times. My first couple of training, I was very nervous, and then things did not go exactly how I planned them to be. But having a coach that's more understanding, that understand that pressure, having them talking to you, the coach really helped me in my first couple training, letting me know it is okay, this is not easy, but you'll eventually get there. This is normal that you feel the pressure, you feel intimidated, but once you get to know the teams, you would feel more in there. So it was a huge transition for me. But once I started really, I committed, I transitioned to the university, it became more easy for me, in terms of those guys that I was intimidated of, kind of took me into their arms, kind of helped me, and kind of made my transition easier for me to become a Timberwolves.
So talk about when you were intimidated, how you was, what were some of the things that you were thinking and how you surpassed it? Because you had to work a lot to get there, right? So talk about that journey part.
As they say, the pressure was mainly in the mental state. It wasn't, I knew I could do it, but it was just getting that mental right. So that was the big issue for me, because sometimes obviously pressure is not a bad thing. If you cannot be comfortable under pressure, it's in life in general, you just gotta understand to live with that pressure. So I had to convince myself that I can do it, first of all, because if I don't believe in myself, I don't think, first of all, I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to be where I wanna be. I have to accept that pressure. First I had to accept that pressure, and having the coach talking to me, letting me know that it is okay, it is normal. Slowly, me also convincing myself it is normal and I can do it. It was, at the beginning, it was more of a mental battle, for myself, just getting that mental state right, telling myself, yes, you can do it, and to be honest with you, I tried that system, it was working, but it was not working at the pace that I wanted it to work. It was very slow. It was steady and slow, until I had my teammate, coming to me as well, kind of helping me into that, letting me know that it is okay, we are here for you, being a mentor for me, kind of help me be part of the team. Because I was very young, and you're playing with people that are way older than you, that are way better than you. Feeling intimidated is normal, but having them like, it is okay, we're here for you, kind of really made me very comfortable and give me that confidence, to play with, which really helped me be where I am today, in terms of not just what I've learned during my 5 years of university soccer, but also me as who I am today.
What were some of the challenges that you were facing?
The main challenges, first of all, I wanted to play. That was one of the. I was asking myself a lot of questions. Am I better enough for the team? Am I gonna be able to have playing time in the team? Can I even get roster for games? Those were my first thought. When I first started starting with the team, and I did train a lot. I remember waking up a lot in the morning, going for a run, because first of all, I told myself, even if I'm not better than those people that are already playing, maybe if I focus more on the cardio side, that might give me a bit of advantage. Because if I can run more than they can run, that might give me the advantage over them to get more playing time. So that was that was some of the first thing I tried to focus on. So I would go to runs in the morning, or sometimes after training, I would do more laps. Just so I can just work on improve that fitness, for at least to give me a little bit of leverage on my teammates. But I started realizing, because that was toward the end of the season, and when preseason came around for my first year, I don't know, for some reason I was just more confident, because of the training I've done during the summer, and just gaining myself, telling myself it is okay, just getting the approval for myself was a big part of that equation, which helped me be confident, be comfortable, and allow me to have a spot on the team, first of all, and just having more playing time, and just to be on the starting lineup that I did for the rest of the season.
So talk about the progress, because this didn't happen overnight, right?
No.
Talk about the progress, how you so you try some stuff, then you go up, then you go to a different level. Talk about the whole thing.
I remember my first time when I was on the first game. I remember I was not on the roster, because as a first year, you don't really get that playing time because they're
So
older,
they,
they've
they bench
experience.
you, right?
Sorry?
They bench you. They put you on a bench.
Oh,
right?
I wasn't even in the list to be like for the roster for the first game of the season.
Yeah.
Because older guys, they've experience. This is the first game of the season. So usually your first year you get red shirt, or it's just like experience here. So you get to see what is the varsity soccer is about. I remember I was not on the roster. And I was disappointed. Because the list came out the night before the game. Obviously you had no idea. You train, you're feeling good, you're
You
telling
work so
yourself,
hard until
yes,
then,
I'm
and
gonna
then-
be on it.
oh.
And then you get the list, you're like, shoot, I'm not in there. It was it was very disappointing. It was very disappointing. And the next day, the day of the game, we had one of the guys that got injured. Unfortunately, injuries happen in soccer. And literally few hours, before the game, I received an email saying, "Oh, you're ready, come ready, you're in the roster." And I was not just in the roster, but I was in the starting lineup. All of a sudden, I went from not being in the roster itself to being in the starting lineup. And I got the man of the match of that game actually. And if I remember, it was against Fraser Valley, University of Fraser Valley. We were playing them home at the Massey Stadium. So it was a beautiful experience, for me. It was beautiful.
Talk about it.
It was a beautiful experience,
Okay. So talk about when you find out what happened, and then when you went on the thing, what were you thinking? Like,
Right.
And then what did you do? Like, how did it go? It's like-
When I first received the roster list and I was not on the roster, very disappointed. I
You're
would
even working so hard.
I
right?
know I
It's
worked
like,
so
what?
hard. I was feeling confident, telling myself, I'm gonna make it. This is I'm gonna get there. To realizing, oh no, I'm not gonna. Maybe I'm not gonna be in the roster. So I went. It was a very sad moment for me. I don't even think if I slept good that night because it was just on my mind. Thinking myself, am I not good enough? Again, it came back to the mental battle. Me and myself telling myself, man, and it brings down your confidence a little bit, because you're thinking, oh my God, I'm good, and then all of a sudden you're like, maybe I'm not good. So it kind of played on my mental a little bit. Very sad, very, very long night for me until it was around, the game was at 5 p.m. and I got the email around 11 a.m. That, oh, there's a change of plan. The guy's injured and I'm back in the roster. Very happy, but at the same time, very nervous. I went from, oh my God, why am I not in the roster, to when I got the email that I was in the roster to, oh, do I really want to be in the roster now? Because I started feeling pressured. I started feeling very nervous because I'm like, oh my God, this is what I wanted, but now I have it and I'm scared. I was very scared. I was nervous. I was scared. I felt pressured, But I remember calling my friend, just explaining the situation. And I needed that, I needed that. I wouldn't go on to say validation, but I needed that confident boost, that they gave me in terms of, no, you can do. This is what you
Support,
wanted.
right?
Exactly.
Support. That's what friends are for. They
Exactly.
support you, right?
Yeah. So they said, this is what you wanted, this is what you do. So just go. And then by that time, when I received that email, I wasn't even sure that I was in the starting 11. I just knew I was in the roster, because you don't know the starting 11 until you get into the change room. Then the coach tells you, okay, this is the starting 11. Literally an hour before the game, that's when you know. An hour and a half before the game, that's when you know you're the starting 11.
Why is it like that?
Because he doesn't want to, just to let everybody, everybody's coming with that mindset, because I don't know, maybe just coaches' tactics. Some coach, I don't know if some coach gives the starting lineup before the night of the game, but our coach used to give it an hour and a half before the game. And people had an idea, before, during that week, that who's going to be starting and who's not. You had an idea, but you just did not know exactly who was on it. So when I got to the change room and I saw my name was on the board, oh man, my heart was racing.
Or you jumping up?
I wasn't sure if this is what I wanted anymore. Because all of a sudden I'm stressful. I feel stressed. I feel nervous and I'm scared. And literally people are looking at me like, I got people coming up to me like, good job, well done. I'm like, oh man, I'm just there. I'm nervous. I'm scared. This is my first game. I'm scared. And it was against a good team as well. They're big, physical. And then I was playing striker, I was put to play as a striker. Sometimes I play midfield, attacking mid. But for that game, I was striker because we had a striker that was injured, so I got to replace them. So
what does it do? What does the tracker do?
Striker is the one that plays
Striker,
highest.
right?
Yeah, the striker is the highest. So the defense and the striker is the highest player on your team. So all of a sudden, I feel that pressure. I'm like, okay, this is not a usual position for me,
Yeah.
and this is my first game, so I got a lot to prove. Because if this doesn't go well, this is gonna bring my confidence down a lot.
Yeah.
You know. And but I remember we had a very vocal captain at that time whose name, if I may mention it, Tofa Fakunle, who came up to me, you know, obviously congratulating me for being in the starting 11 and just reassuring me that we do this together, you know, we're here for you, we're a team, you know, so just don't feel pressured if you lose the ball, just keep your head up, be yourself, do your thing, you know, which I needed, you know, I needed that, and that was right before the kickoff, and I needed that. And then there's one thing they say in soccer, you always have to focus on your first ball. Because if you mess up your first pass or your first control of the ball, that might dictate how bad your game is gonna be.
Why?
You know, because that is that's where you get the confidence for the most part. Because if your first pass is bad, you're like, oh shit.
Oh.
You know, sorry. You know, you're like, oh shit. You know, it's just like, oh my god, this is bad. But if you get a good first pass of the game, it kind of brings your confidence. I don't know what it is, but even myself, I feel that. My first pass of the game, that's very crucial for me to dictate how the rest of my game is gonna be. So I really try to focus on that. And I remember I even remember my first touch. It was off of a throw, so I got a throwing. You know, the ball came to me, and I just passed it back to the guy. And I felt like, oh, the first one was good. The first one was good. And then as the game went on, I gained my confidence. You know, I had a great game, and I played the whole game. You know, I went from not being in the roster to playing the full game as playing striker, which was not even my usual position. Played the full game and getting the man of the match of the game. So it was
How did you play that game? Did you do really good or?
I did great. I did really good. I did not score a goal, but I did great. My movement, my passing, my control, my ball, having the ball, it was just beautiful, you know. And then just really helped me throughout till the rest of the season.
Did you win that match?
We did win that game. We won.
Wow,
won the
that is
game
amazing.
1-0. Yeah.
Or you had a lot of big things to do about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I contributed a lot.
So when you won that match, how was your team towards you, and then how was your coach towards you?
Especially when I won that game, I think I'm not sure who exactly dictated who's the man of the match, but when I actually did an interview, you know, I think I can still find the interview.
What is a man of match? Because people don't know what that is.
The man of match is the I guess MVP, as they would say in other sports, which is the most valuable player of the match. You know, like the best player of the game. You know, so when I knew I had a good game because first of all I played the whole game, and second of all I know I've contributed, you know, to the win. So when I was already happy, you know, for that, and then I got the news that I was the man of the match, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, first game, first man of the match. You know, it's just that happy feeling. You know, I just felt very happy. And then obviously teammates were, first of all, they were happy because we got the win, and then happy for me as well because first I had a great game, and I remember all the older people coming up to me, just they're happy for me, you know. First game, good game, first MVP, so it was something that I needed, you know. I needed that for me to do what I did for the rest of the season.
So then what happened from that?
What happened from that? We had
you went that night to bed when you were sleeping.
Oh, that.
Right? What happened? Were you like, oh my?
It was,
God.
you know, because we have a page, you know, T-Wolves page, Instagram page. So when after the game they put the highlight and they put who was the man of the match, they put everything on that page. And obviously they put me as the man of the match, and I was tagged in it, and I had friends reaching out to me. Oh my God, well done! You know, you're just very happy. You know, I remember I went home, called the family, very happy. You know, I shared that with my brothers, cousins, and they also shared it to their social media, and it was just a beautiful feeling. You know, everybody I was happy, and people around me were happy as well. And as I say, the night before the game, I did not sleep good because I wasn't in a roster. But after the game, I slept very good. I can tell you that it was a good night. I slept good, and then I felt good. Okay.
So what happened after that? Did it open up more doors?
It did. After that, the second game we played. I can't remember which.
You weren't on the roster anymore. Right?
I was on the roster. I was on the roster.
Again?
Yeah, I was on the roster. Yeah. After that, I was on the roster. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That was a good game. Yeah, that was a good game.
They're like, this guy, we need this guy.
Yeah,
right?
that was a good game. I think, and then the coach really played a huge part in it. You know, because first of all, he trusted me. You know, he put that trust on me. And I think for any player, it's safe to say that you need the coach trust. Because if your own coach doesn't trust you,
it's like a parent, right?
Exactly. So how are you gonna be yourself? How are you gonna gain that confidence? So for me to have his trust on me really allowed me to exploit the potential that I had, to the fullest. You know, so him trusting me to put me not just on the roster but on the starting 11 kind of gave me that confidence that I try to thrive on. So in the second game I played again. I played in a different position. You know, so it was just from there on, just being myself, changing position, and just being happy again playing football.
So when you got that first match, what was the reaction of your parents? They find out about it, right? What did they call you?
Oh, they did. My dad is very obviously they don't really know. My parent doesn't really do social media. They're old school. They don't really know much about social media. But when I sent to them, you know, the post, and my brother also got to share with them. I remember my brother telling me that my dad was talking about it, you know, with his friends, and then obviously everybody, because they have like I say, soccer is a huge thing out there. So all of a sudden they thought that, oh my God, he became a soccer player. You know, they thought I had made it. You know, I'm like, not quite. You know, this is you know, I'm still doing school university. Yes, you know, it's still considered semi-pro. You know, on a level. But it was just not where I wanted to be back then, you know. But it was a great beginning. But it was just the happiness they had. I even had some friends, you know, some family members calling me, "Oh, this is beautiful. This is awesome. You know, we're happy for you. So, which club do you play for? What country?" You know, they just started thinking. It was just beautiful. It was a beautiful feeling, you know. But my parents were very proud, you know. And then they watch all of my games. And then knowing that the time difference right now in Mali is 8 hours. They're ahead of us 8 hours. If 8 hours difference, so they got to watch my game. We played at 5 p.m. And by that time it was 5 p.m. It would have been 1 a.m. around to 2 a.m. So they've watched all of my games. You know,
Your parents,
late at night.
are you serious?
They do.
Like,
They're very serious.
That's a huge sacrifice. No parent, man, nobody will do that.
No, they watch all my game. They've always been there for me. You know, in terms of, so they're very happy for me. You know, so. And my mom she's always tried to lift my spirit, because when I was not on the roster, I remember calling her, telling her, you know, I'm not on the roster, you know, all that. She was a little sad, but bringing my spirit to me being on the starting 11 to being the man of the match was something she really loved to see.
So what happened after this? After all that, all those things you did. So what is happening now?
After all that, I did my 5 years of university, and obviously I wanted to pursue that soccer career, but you know, the age is running down, and then I got.
Did you stop? You stopped the soccer?
I still do play.
No, but you stopped professionally, right? Did you stop professionally?
As of now, I want to say yes, because I know it's even my family was kind of disappointed, you know, because they say you could have, you know, which but I don't know, for some reason I just have I have a lot of ambition. I had a lot of goals, a lot of things that I wanted to achieve.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So, because soccer is very important, but you wanted to do education more than the soccer, I guess, right?
No, I wanted to do soccer more than education, but I realized if soccer doesn't go as planned, education is going to be the backup. So therefore, I had to also
balance it.
Exactly, I had to balance it in both. So which was kind of like, okay, I know soccer, my age is running down, and what are the possibilities that I could still become a soccer player? So I had that, I wouldn't say doubt, but I was thinking about that, you know, a lot. But at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, there's a backup for me. So yes, I have a lot of people that thinks that especially people that play varsity soccer. I had some teammates from other countries. They just go to school just to go to school, but their main focus is on soccer, because they're just here because they want to play soccer. You know, school is not really their priority. But I could not allow myself to think such. Because I knew
doesn't pay if you don't make it.
Exactly.
Did you saw some of those people that they just play soccer and not make it into society?
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
Okay, so that was your major decision.
Exactly, a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I started thinking, if soccer doesn't go well, does that mean I have to come back to school and then just waste more time? You know. So I thought maybe not. That's gonna be just a waste of time. So yes, soccer is gonna be my priority, but school as well. You know.
How do you balance them both?
My first year was very tough. It was very hard because obviously you're getting used to it. You miss a lot of classes. Sometimes when there are games, sometimes we travel on Thursdays, sometimes we travel on Friday. So which means sometimes you miss 2 days of school. Sometimes you miss exams, midterms, which you have to catch yourself. You don't have as much time to study for your exams and midterms. So it was an adjustment for me. My first year, first semester I would say. But as I go, school also has program for student athlete like that struggle with time management and how to better balance these two lifestyle. So I took advantage of that program my first semester, which really helped me kind of have that balance of the two. and bring me that success that I've had after the first year in terms of school and at the same time soccer.
So let's talk about what you studied and then where that lead you.
I did finance in school.
You did finance.
I did.
What is finance? Is it like accounting and all that stuff?
Well, money management, you know.
money
yeah,
ma- okay.
yeah, could be. Yeah, it's money management and stuff. And then I remember first I wanted to be a nurse. Actually, this is what
You
before
wanted to be a
my
nurse?
first year. Yeah, my first year of university.
Why nurse?
I don't know. For some reason, I just
You like helping people. Is
I
that-
did. I like helping people for sure. At the same time as well, to be honest with you, you know, no filter. You know, they say nurses make more money.
Yeah,
You know, so it was. I thought of that at first, but then again, I said, I don't know. It just was a lot of commitment. You know.
Yeah. Did you
And
go and check it out? Because it's so much work, man.
I did.
And then unfortunately, some people, I know I have a couple of nurse friends, and sometimes the person you've been taking care of, right?
Exactly.
Then you deal with the psychology.
There's exactly, pretty much.
That's like
So
insane.
I had to make a decision, you know. So I asked myself, so is this really something I want to do?
Yeah.
You know, then I realized, no, really. And I've always, I love math, I love business, business mentality, and I love money management. You know, managing money.
Yeah.
So, and then finance was my other priority. So I decided to do finance.
Yeah.
I did 4.5 years because of soccer. 4.5 years schooling. It's a 4-year program, but I did an extra semester because of, you know, I did play an extra year of soccer. Because of COVID, we did not have a season.
Okay, so,
So exactly. So I took another semester to.
was
make
it difficult to study finance? Because it's all about.
At first, no, the first 2 years was not really that hard for me, you know, because you know, as they say, if you love something, you know, you would always find a way, you know, to do it. And then there's a say in French that vouloir c'est pouvoir, which I don't know in English would be
Vouloir, c'est pouvoir.
vouloir c'est pouvoir, you know,
Looking is.
wanting is doing it.
One thing is doing it.
No, wanting is being able to do it.
One thing is
Is being able to do it. Yeah, vouloir c'est pouvoir. So if you want it, you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
our-
yeah, that makes sense. If you want it, you
yeah,
can do it.
yeah.
yeah.
If you want, you can do it. So that was something that I really.
What is vouloir?
Vouloir is wanting.
One thing. And then what was the other one?
Pouvoir,
Pouvoir.
being able to do it,
able to do
doing it.
My French is so rusty.
No, it's
I
great.
used to be so good. Vouloir, c'est pouvoir.
Yeah, vouloir c'est pouvoir.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that was something I really, I was always inspired by because I wanted it. So I told myself I'm gonna do it. So my first 2 years wasn't as bad. You know, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You know, besides the first semester, which I had a lot of problem with time management. But after that, I got used to the whole scheduling, the whole program. Until COVID happened. Obviously, everybody was in some boat. Everybody, not just me, you know,
everybody
everybody
struggled,
everything went online, and you know, you had to change the way of study. So everything changed. So that was for everybody. So, and after that, from online studying to back to in person was also another adjustment for everybody. So the last 2 years was not awful, but it was definitely it was a bit of an adjustment that needed to be done for that.
Well, you finished it.
When?
What you finished, right?
Yeah, I finished. Yes.
So what was your mother's and parents' reactions?
Great, very proud.
Okay, good.
No, they were very proud, you know, because my parents, obviously they loved it. They all loved and always encouraged me, you know, in the soccer, in me playing soccer. But as they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, so that's why the school part is also something they wanted me to focus on, you know. So they really helped me finish that. And as I'm doing my schooling, you know, soccer was also another thing that I was doing on the side. But school was the priority as well as soccer. So I guess I can say I had two priorities, which was school and soccer. So when I finished, everybody was happy for me. You know, everybody was happy because I'm the first really in my family to finish university.
Oh, wow.
That level, you know, because my mom and dad, they went to school, but they obviously my dad also does business management. So he got really, I guess. He loved money very early.
Who doesn't love money? Who doesn't?
Yeah, he loved money very, very early and just kind of shift his whole mentality and then his whole focus onto that, into the business. So me kind of going forward to that and
So that made your father excited, I guess.
very excited and very proud
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So where did that? So now, So what do you do now? You work for the French Francophone, right?
Yeah, I work for the Welcoming Francophone Community, which
Yeah.
is a project financed by the IRCC,
Yeah.
Immigration Refugee
Yeah.
Citoyenneté Canada,
Yeah.
which is also again in partnership with the French government, Canadian French government, you know,
Yeah.
to kind of welcome the francophones
Yeah.
in an English environment. Yeah.
So what you do there?
Right now, I work on projects. So projects such as community inclusion project, creating, collaborating with employers in Prince George, housing communities, shops, creating, even doing promotion. You know, right now I'm trying to reach out. I'm working on the promotion with Montreal, the Francophone community in Montreal, because one of our job, I guess one of the things the government wants us to do is to attract more francophones in BC. You know, and there's francophone that comes to BC, but Prince George is just not on the #1 list. When they come, usually it's Vancouver, you know, Kelowna, Kamloops, bigger cities, you know. So our goal is to also showcase them. Prince George is beautiful, you know.
Come here,
The francophone community is beautiful, you know. The people are welcoming. Community, we have a sense of belonging within the community. So right now, I'm working on different projects which can promote that idea and to send a message to francophone all over not just in Canada but all over the world that Prince George is welcoming. Come see Prince. Come check it out for yourself. You know. So and then I also kind of help them find jobs. That's the reason why I create those collaboration with employers in town. I have
Talk
them
about
find
that a
housing.
little bit. Talk about that. What you did. How you do that.
So when we have a new immigrant that comes in Prince George, usually they're referred. They either go to Work BC, Canadian Service, or I can't remember the place. What is the place? Oh, I
Is it
forgot.
the immigration center? I think.
Yeah.
I
They're
forgot the
gonna.
name.
I'm gonna get in trouble for forgetting their names. I work with them all the time.
We work with them. What is the name of that immigration place?
IMSS. Oh my God, they're gonna have me. So IMSS, you know, usually when there's a new immigrant that come in town, IMSS is very much is well known. You know, it's great, way more known than our association because we've only been there for only 3 years. You know, it's a project that's been there for 3 years, and we're expanding slowly. So we've been working with IMSS in terms of anytime they have francophone that comes to them to kind of refer to them because the government gives us a lot of resources. You know, we have a lot of resources, a lot of I guess contact, you know, that can help them not only integrate the community but also facilitate their new beginnings in a new community. So when we have a new immigrant that first come to town, I'm their first contact, you know, in terms of and obviously there's certain qualification that I have to look into, which is they have to be PR, permanent resident, and they also have to be francophones, you know, for them to qualify to be a member of our project. You know, those are the criteria the government gives us. But when the Ukraine war started, we were also allowed to get to register the Ukrainian refugee and also assist them with their needs. So when we have a new immigrant that comes here, I'm the first contact. So I kind of at first we have to make sure they qualify, and after that I listen to them. We can have a chat, listen to their needs. You know, some of them are looking for work, some of them are looking for housing, some of them are just looking for stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know.
In terms of the housing, is it very difficult to find housing here? Because some cities are like, it's crazy to find housing for anyway.
Very. Yeah, sometimes it was at the beginning it was very hard for us to kind of help them, assist them with their housing needs. But as time goes, we started creating that collaboration, that partnership with the city, you know, in terms of housing, helping them find housing that are affordable and that are accessible. You know, that was one of our two main things we were looking into, and which we have a partnership with few housing company in Prince George, which anytime we have a new immigrant that comes in town that are looking for a house to stay, we contact them. Okay, we have this housing. This is their budget. Is there anything for them? So based on that, they would say, if they do, oh yes, we do. We have this one bedroom, 2 bedrooms, or if, you know, based on that. And in terms of work as well, we have a beautiful partnership with Work BC, with CVTC, who's been tremendous in terms of expanding.
What is
CVTC, Canadian Vocational Training Center.
Okay, talk about it. Do you want to talk about it?
They assist people. Usually they have a lot of programs. You know, they do a lot of stuff, a lot of wonderful stuff. And one of those stuffs is they have contact of hundreds of employers across BC, Prince George across BC, which sometimes when those employers are looking for workers, people to work for them, they come to CVTC, asking them, do you have any employer that has this qualification, and from there, CVTC also reach out to us. Oh, do you have anybody that's looking for work, and with this diploma or with that, and based on that, we kind of refer each other like that, which really helped us because it got to a point at the beginning of the project. We would have a lot of people, coming asking for a job, and we have no idea where to refer them to. And this was the beginning of the project, and then it was really hard because we would apply for them. We would just go on website, LinkedIn, Glassdoor, just kind of applying, for them without knowing if they're gonna get hired or not. But nowadays, with the collaboration we've created with Work BC and CVTC, really help enlighten, those paths for us and make it easier for us to find job for the new immigrant that comes in town to stay.
That's amazing. What other projects have you done here?
Oh, so far, since I've been working with the project for about a year now, and I've done, oh my God, I can't remember exactly how many projects I've done, but one of my first project was the last Black History Month, last February 2023. I did a little documentary, in collaboration with Franco Nord, which is an elementary francophone school here. And with the director of the school, Nancy Gauthier, she's wonderful. She's been tremendous as well in helping me achieve what I did in that process, in that project. And the project was pretty much, we got a speaker from Vancouver that came in. We kind of organized a conference, in idea of educate people more about the Black History Month and just the history, of where everything started and how people can educate themselves in terms of the history itself. So we invited a speaker from Vancouver to come in, and we invited our partners, people, the community, and we also did a collaboration with the elementary school, which we just got to just a lot of questions to the kids. The questions just said, what is Black History Month to you? Why do you think people celebrate Black History Month? And it was beautiful. Every kid had such a different answer. It was just beautiful to see. And the reason behind that was, we want, as adults, we can say something because we just want to say it. But for kids, their opinion is unfiltered. Exactly. They say what they're in their mind, So, and then we didn't even send them the question beforehand. We just say, it was a fun interview, It was just very fun and fun, they had fun, we had fun. It was just to have their, their ideas, what Black History Month for them, and if they know anybody that's contributed to, to Black history in general. And it was just beautiful. It was a wonderful experience, and we ended up having over 100 people in that conference from the community that came in to watch the conference, to see the video. It was just wonderful. And that was.
Let me tell you something. It's sad that we still have to, put colors, because there's only one race on this planet. You know what I mean, right?
Exactly, right.
It's like you still, after all these years, you have to still do this stuff. It's like, isn't it sad, man?
It's sad. No, it's sad.
Right? Like, I'm from Middle East, right? It's all of it, right? It's just like you're just one freaking race. Why can't
that unity? Exactly.
Where's that unity? I want that unity. I've been trying that unity for all my life. I'm trying to bring that unity, but I don't know. Sometimes it just makes you wonder, right?
It does. It does make you wonder.
Because it's like if somebody, let's say if aliens or something comes down to here, do you think they're gonna see like us being different? They don't. They're all the same.
Yeah, right.
Why are they killing each other?
Exactly. It's just very sad. There's that division within the community, within the world, itself.
And then you have to keep bringing it up, man. It's, you know what I mean, right? It's just like, and sometimes it's just like it makes you wonder, like, man, like why, that racism still exists and things like that, right? Yeah. And I mean, it's gone down a lot. Yeah. But still,
it's still around.
You have to deal with this crap still.
It's still around.
Like seriously, when
it's still around.
When are we gonna
I know.
One race,
it's
right?
It's
like, how long is it gonna take?
Exactly.
How many more wars, right? How many more it's insane. It's just like it's something that I'm still struggling with since I was a child, right? Because it doesn't make sense. This stuff, right? So in our countries, right? When you're a kid, you don't have that.
No, you don't. No.
As soon as you come out, then you learn what it is. You don't realize it for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? And then slowly you see, like, oh, wow.
Exactly.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
I never thought this reality
I never
existed.
thought of that. And then now all of a sudden it's just,
like this
the reality
game, right? So I hope one day we don't have to talk about this stuff.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, so talk about. So you did these projects, right? This new project you talked about today when you came in here,
I did.
and you were late.
Yeah, I know I was late, my bad. Yeah, timing issue. Yeah, that's my bad. But yeah, right now I'm actually, because I was on a vacation. I came back about 2 weeks ago. So I'm.
How long were the vacation for?
It was for 1 month.
1 month.
I was
that's
away
not
for 1
bad.
month,
1
yeah.
month, you probably-
And then now I came back and then I just have ideas. It looks like I needed that vacation to just kind of get my mind.
Yeah, to
refreshed.
recharge yourself, right?
Exactly.
You always have to do that.
Yeah.
So what is
and,
this new project that you were talking
So one of those projects is we do want to expand, because I think we do a lot within the community of Prince George, but we want to get out there. We want to expand to the provincial level, and we're thinking Montreal as of now, Quebec. Because we know the majority of people, especially Francophone people, because we're here to welcome the Francophone people. A lot of Francophone people, when they come to Canada, they mainly go to the Francophone provinces, which is Quebec, mainly in Montreal. So the idea of the project was, why not just do the promotion out there, because we know we have a lot of Francophone out there. So the idea is to get to Montreal, create a partnership with the Francophone association that are out there, letting them know that, we have a beautiful community out here in Prince George that are more than welcome, that are more than happy to welcome people out here, Francophone people out here. We have a beautiful Francophone community. We have a welcoming community in general in Prince George. It's a little city, but very beautiful and very connected. So yes, the idea is of now to just go out there, do the promotion out there, and then hopefully bring more light to Prince George to get more Francophone coming here and to just expand out there.
You were talking about another project. What's something to do with Africa?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that, or
that one
that's a personal project?
No, really. Yeah, that's
that
a
sounds
lot
so
of
exciting.
Yeah, that's a lot of different. Yeah, that would actually be my personal project in terms of what the UNBC and UNESCO helped me
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure, yeah, for sure. I can say a little bit for them. Yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's one of the reasons I was actually away recently to do a formation in agriculture and animal farming, which was financed by University of British Columbia, UNBC, and UNESCO.
What did you do when you were there?
So it was pretty much to learn about animal industry, animal, anybody, because I know right now in West Africa, one of the booming industry at the moment is animal farming, agriculture, stuff like that, and that's one thing I've always been amazed by, in terms of finding something. Exactly.
The most
food.
important thing, no food, no
Exactly,
life. Right?
and then I've been told that's something that is really growing out there. So I wanted to just kind of learn about it and see if this is something I'll be interested in. So there's a lady at university that's also work with UNESCO, Agnes Pavlovsky. She's been very tremendous, into me applying for that project, and she really helped me get those funding that I needed for me to go pursue that program. So I was there for 1 month, and it's been a beautiful experience for me, and I've learned so much, so much in terms of animal itself, farm, agriculture in general. And now when I came back, I want to immerse myself into that. That's another project I want to do, maybe down the future. But that's something I'm really interested in, and obviously I'm gonna do it in partnership with hopefully university and UNESCO down the future. But obviously there's more to talk about and more stuff to be done.
What is the project? What are you gonna do there? Or if you get
if possible, even actually, because it's gonna be the main idea is gonna be a non-profit organization, in terms of helping the community, because there's a lot of community that could benefit from those animal farming in terms of, like you say, providing food. Agriculture, plant, tomatoes, salad, lettuce, all those good stuff, and there's communities that could really benefit from those. And the main idea that I had, the idea is still not, finalized, but the idea, the initial idea was to just create something, create that idea, that program that can help, especially communities, that needs it the most, to kind of just help them with different path, to just the development of not just the community, but the people, that are in need of those services.
Africa is such a nice country.
Yeah,
it has a lot of natural resources.
Yeah.
It should be the richest country in the world.
It should be. It should be with the
so-
natural resources out there, with the opportunities out there.
It's everything. Everything is there.
Exactly.
Right? So-
And that's something I really want to exploit and just see if we could really help the community present, and hopefully make something better for the community future.
Well, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we end it?
At the moment, I don't really know. Well, maybe you have me another time in another show when things are moved on. I could talk about more stuff.
Talk about how people can find you if they need help, or how can they do the things you've done as a soccer player. Like,
Everything would be on the UNBC Timberwolf page, whether it is Instagram, the Instagram page, or they could also send me. I work at Le Cercle des Canadiens Français, which I would be there Monday to Friday, 9 to 4:30. If they wanted more face to face, to chat with me, I'll be more than happy to have a chat with anybody, whether about any concern. And I'm a very guy.
so, why is it important to follow your passion?
Was it important to follow my passion?
Yeah.
It was the best decision I've ever made.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of difference, right?
It does.
Why? Why do you want to make a difference?
I do want to make a difference because I think I can do it. First of all, I can do it because, like I say in English, vouloir c'est pouvoir. I first had to believe that I can do it for me to do it. And that's one thing. First of all, you have to kind of accept it yourself. And I do want to make a difference because I can make a difference, and also I think the change is necessary. In terms of what I do with my project, and also in terms of what I want to do for my personal stuff. Again, for the project, welcoming people to this beautiful community we have here in Prince George. Just show them something new, something they did not expect to have out here. And in terms of on a personal level, creating something out there in those African countries that can help the community, like I said, the community present, and also create a better future, and a more accessible future for the generation future to come.
Does it make you feel good to make a difference?
It does. It does make me feel very good.
Where is the driving force for you comes from making a difference? What did you see? Because usually what happens. You see, like.
First of all, I feel like that's actually a great question, because I think deep down in me, I always wanted to make a change, change, whether it is in whatever things I do in life. Also, having that drive comes from, I know where I grew up, I know the reality in Africa, I know in Mali, speaking of where I have a personal experience, and then I think there's room for change, and then there's possibility for change. It's just a matter of wanting to do it, and that's what I tell myself. I mean, my family, what they do, I'm not gonna get into their thing, but that's one thing I've learned since young age, and especially what I've learned from my mom. She is, I think it's safe to say that she's mother of the community, in terms of what she does for the community, and that's something that I was born with, and seeing her do that growing up was something that's always inspired me, and me thinking that I can do it, being in a place where even if I have a slight possibility to do that, is enough for me to try at least.
So you say your mother was a mother of community. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, she was just not our mother, but she was the mother of the community. In terms of I myself, I have 6 siblings to myself. Six siblings to myself. But in general, if I were to count the kids that my mom and mother raised, kids that I called to this day, brother and sister, in total we are 16. 16.
And they weren't her kids.
Yeah. It's people that were given to my mom, whether it is family, whether it is the community, just to raise. And that's something that has stuck with me since young age, and to this day they're still with us. Some married, some are still there. Even to this day she's still receiving kids, so it's just, and even when it's dinner time or when it's lunch, just the way you see our house, like I told you, Africa, everybody, you go everywhere, people go to neighbor's house and eat, but my mom just became that face, not just of our family, of that community, because everybody's welcome to eat. She will help you, if she can, so that's that drive that I've learned from her, and me being in that position to just have a chance of being able to do that. That's all I need for me to try to make that difference.
Your mother was right now. What is something you want to tell her?
Pretty much.
Look at the camera.
Oh, that's huge. That's I'll try not to cry, but I wouldn't be what I am today without her, and wow, this is really hard.
Go for it. You can,
I wouldn't be what I am today without her and what she's taught me. Not just her, but my dad as well. At the same time, I thank her each and every day for making me who I am today, and for giving me the heart I have today, helping people and being there for people. You know, this is really cool. This is really you know?
Good.
Yeah,
Okay. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
pleasure to be with you.
And see you soon. I'm just gonna end it.
Okay.
Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Northern BC Narrative on Location. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and you learned a lot about being authentic and making a difference in the world, in your life and others. We wish you the best and see you on our next episode.